Old Bloke goes buzzing. So, last time I said I'd look at some creatures inside and outside the house, just to cheer you up. And yesterday, while I was recording a wee song called Driving Home, I noticed a prime candidate tucked in the corner of the cam ceiling. A big house spider was sitting motionless, all gathered in, doing a really bad job of hiding, her black outline impossible to miss against the whitewashed walls of my studio. There are about 680 species of spider in this country, but none of them are that dangerous. Do they bite? Aye. Have they ever killed them, they? Well, you'd have to be very unlucky. Most of the time you're only going to feel a small nip, or maybe a numb arm. But if pressed, yes, okay. Back in 2014, a 60-year-old lady did die after a bite from a false widow spider, but I'm guessing there may have been some kind of allergic reaction involved. Poor woman. But this is like a 1 in 60 million chance, so just chill. My spider is a hunter-killer spider, as opposed to spiders who use traditional shaped webs and trap their prey that way. Mine stalks about and runs and jumps and dives on them. But by the way, we're not the prey. Other creepy crawlies are. So in a way, spiders tidy up the house for you. As opposed to the common house spider, my spider looks like a giant house spider. It's huge. This baby can grow to about 12 centimetres, almost 5 inches in real money. I would say mine is about 3 inches. And it might, because I'm not going to squish it, live up to 6 years. Although most peg it in about a year. The biggest UK spider is the cardinal spider. This 5.5-inch monster apparently used to terrify Cardinal Thomas Wolsey back in the Tudor times, as it scuttled about Hampton Court, no doubt. Anyway, my specimen is probably a female, as it doesn't have those swollen pedipalps. Pedi what, I hear you say? Well, there are 2 protrusions at the front, near the mouth, which in the male are swollen at the tips, like wee arms or wee hands in the end. And these wee tips that are swollen keep the semen there, and they kind of pass it to the female when the time's right. It's usually the females you see at this time of year. That is March, April time. The males are more common between July and October, when they're out on their andan, looking for certain death. Let me explain. After waving the pedipalps about and cavorting with the female for a couple of weeks, the female eats the male, and uses the resulting nutrients to produce about 60 spiderlings. She then, depending on food availability, eats quite a few of those too. Nasty. Another scary fact is that the giant house spider used to hold the Guinness Book of Records top spot for the fastest spider. It can run a nifty 1.7 feet per second. So in the time it takes you to say, "Oh shit!" it will have covered about 8 feet. Still, personally, I'd never kill a spider. I might lift one out the bath for the better half, or have a close look at its 8 beautiful eyes. In this case, it's 6 beautiful eyes. But that's it. I wouldn't do anything else. Now you see, spiders' eyes are quite gorgeous. If you look in really close, using a magnifying glass, you'll discover those sexy eyelashes it has. Although with only 400 receptors in each eye compared to our 120 million receptors, it's thought that they can only distinguish light from dark, so they're a bit blunt really. And don't give me that old chestnut about spiders crawling into your mouth when you're sleeping. If your mouth is open, you're probably snoring your head off and scared the bejeebas at the thing anyway. And no, they don't drink from your sleeping gub either. They tend to give us a wide berth, okay? Now, I'm not saying everybody loves spiders, and there is this thing called arachnophobia, which is a real thing, and probably stems back to some kind of genetic imprinting. We're probably programmed to be a bit scared of spiders, from our days in the savannas and stuff, millions of years ago, when they probably did bite you and kill you. And arachnophobia, as I said, is a real thing. About 3 to 6% of humans actually suffer from it. Anyway, that's enough for spiders for the now. So moving on, or out, let's go outside and sniff that air in a bit. I can almost taste summer. Or maybe it's just the farmer spreading muck again. Anyway, outside the house, there are a plethora of bugs and beasties to look at. I'm just going to mention one today. One that I've noticed, probably the most in the last few days of a wee bit of sun we've had. It's, of course, the big one, the bumblebee. And yes, there's about 24 species in the UK, and sizes can vary. The one I've seen nosing about the long grass is one of the big boys. A white-tailed bumblebee. They do live in hives, but 400 at a time, rather than the 50,000 or so you'll get in a honeybee colony. And they tend to nest underground, in an old vole hole or something, facing south usually for extra warmth. The queen, about 20 millimetres long in this case, lays about 60 eggs in a bed of pollen, which she covers in nice wax. Anyway, here's a wee poem from the Victorian times about a bumblebee. I dedicate this to my dad, who was stung by a bumblebee as a boy, and is currently doing time at Sunningdale, a nice wee care home near Balloch. OK, Dad, here we go. Bumblebee by D. B. Barnard. The smallest of dainties is young Mr. B, who is known by the name of Bumble. His life is a short one, but merry and free. They're mistaken who call him humble. Clad in black velvet and trimmings of yellow, he knows well enough he's a fine-looking fella. And hiding away a sharp little dagger, he dashes about with confident swagger. Well, to show he's at ease and to tell of his coming, a tune he's always carelessly humming, eating or drinking or looking for pleasure, fit for the tastes of a person of leisure. Down where the meadow is sunny and breezy, and the red clover he'll take the world easy. Or feeling the need of a little diversion, he'll make to the garden a pleasant excursion. And into a lily or hollyhock dodging, with quiet assurance he takes up his lodging. With a snug little fortune invested in honey, young Bumblebee lives like a prince on this money. And scorning some plodding relations of his, he leaves the hard labour to them, his cousins named Busy. Ah, well, you see, it's a shame really. The bumblebee sometimes only lives for about 24 days, so hope they make the best of it. I like to be reference to the busy bee at the end, knocking their pans in while he just dies about. Ah, wait, I think I hear the dulcet tones of my better half. Where are you? She shouts. Her voice seems to be coming for the bathroom. I shudder to think what misdemeanour I might have made. You're minging, she adds. Oh no. What's up, Petal? I'm now expecting the worst. You've no cleaned it! No cleaned what? I've now climbed the stairs and come face to face. It looks like a Yeti's just taking a duke in our bath. I sigh with relief. Phew, it could have been worse, eh? There's hairs and muck and what's that? I stares down at what looks like a bit of blue belly valve. Why is it always blue? Oh, right, hen, I'll get to it. Just before she goes out the door, I get a detox douse sponge square in the face. Oh yeah, clean it. I'm no your maid. No, but you're a pretty good shot, hen, eh? I say, wincing, as she goes down the stairs for her cup of tea and a wee biscuit. Anyway, until next time, if anyone's listened in, remember to clean the bog and wash your hands for 20 seconds while singing, I'm going to wash that man right out of my hair or something. And remember, in these dark days, stay safe, stay in if you can, and until next time, ciao for now. Where's that sponge got to?